Welcome to Fireside Giants. My name is Alex with my co-host here, Anthony Rovardo. And today we have a little special treat for you guys. We wanted to just react and look at the greatness of Kadarius Toney. The past couple videos been rather negative, talking about Dave Gettleman, his at a loss of words for, on behalf of Anthony and myself. We don't know what the hell the guy's doing at this point. We don't know where this team is going. This seems like they can only draft defensive linemen or interior defensive linemen and wide receivers. Everybody else seems to be absolute crap, with the exception of a select few like Kadarius Toney, who is a receiver. So we want to take a look at his moves and jukes and agility and mobility and just how great of a player he's been for us and the shock that really he's presented in terms of his ability, because I have never seen a player quite like this. People are calling him the human joystick already, reminiscent of D'Angelo Hall and a couple of older players. But at the end of the day, this is a player who many defenders in the NFL look at and say, how do I stop this guy in the open field? How do I manage him? How do I defend him? There's no clear-cut way. You can't really defend him when he reacts so freaking fast. In the blink of an eye, he's changing direction. On the stop of a dime, he's making another movement. He's going left, you're going right. You're going left, he's going right. It's impossible to figure out what the guy's going to do. So you can't really defend him. You can double team him. You can try, but he's going to find a way around you. So we want to take a look at a couple of awesome clips and really, spread some positivity today, because ultimately it's been a pretty negative and down couple days, and I want to snap out of that real quick. And if you're a Knicks fan, got a little bit of positivity last night. So keep going and watch those Knicks. But Anthony, my friend, before we dive into some of these clips and awesome plays by Kadarius, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. Actually, feeling a lot better today because I watched Napoli get a victory. You watched the Knicks get a victory. Go Knicks. I'm a fan of the Knicks as well, but I watched Napoli. So that has me up today and has me forgetting about the horrors of Sunday for the New York Giants against the Rams. That was a terrible game. But in that game, Kadarius Toney had a couple of pretty sick plays, even though he was out of the game after 5 total reps. He had 3 catches. He's a beast. And it's going to be great now. We can just reflect on Kadarius Toney, kind of just react to his plays, talk about them, look at them, and have a good time, because Kadarius Toney is an ultra-talented player. He's a superb talent that the Giants are very lucky to have, and he is a long-term building block for this team. So even while we sit here super depressed about how bad the Giants are, we do know that long-term, at least we have this awesome wide receiver that we can build around and build this offense around, and I'm really excited for that. He's got shades of Odell Beckham Jr. He's got shades of Dante Hall, as you mentioned. He's got shades of Tyreek Hill even a little bit. Maybe not as great as with the straight line speed, but he has that same short, shiftiness, in those compact areas. That's really elite from Kadarius Toney. So, yeah, I'm excited to dive into this, discuss Kadarius Toney a little bit, shed a little bit of a positive light on the New York Giants. I know there's not a lot of positivity to really share for this team. It's a very, very negative time to be a Giants fan, but if there is one shining light, it is Kadarius Toney. So, let's talk about that light.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said D'Angelo Hall before. Definitely not him. His ankles were snapped by DeAndre Hopkins. If you watched that video, absolutely hilarious. Dante Hall, the speedster and human joystick is his coined term. But Kadarius Toney is similarly, working in that direction. And we want to take a look at some clips. So I'm going to start it up right now. And guys, enjoy, because this is about where we're at in the Giants season. We've been boiled down to watching Napoli, which is unfortunate. Boiled down to the Knicks, and usually that would be a bad thing. This time around, very good thing. So find your alternative team to really keep you excited and happy, because Monday mornings are going to suck this season. But maybe Wednesday mornings, Thursday, Fridays can be a little bit better with some alternative teams mixed into the pot there. So enjoy that. But let's take a look at some Toney. And right off the bat, this was probably the game that we saw him and said, okay, we got something special here against the Saints, right? He made a couple guys miss. He's making moves. Boop, there's a guy. I mean, look at this guy. Like right off the bat, man, like his first thing, all I saw was this guy go absolutely flying. Like, look at this guy. He goes flying right through everybody. He's juking left, right. He's spinning. He's picking up. I think this is the 3rd and 18 play where he picks up a first down here, and he's just churning out yards on a little screen pass, making guys miss. And he fights for every yard. You love to see fighters from your receivers. I've seen Darius Slayton make business decisions in the past. I've seen him go down for no reason. Kadarius Toney is looking for contact. He's looking to avoid it, and then he's looking to use contact to his advantage and use that insane center of gravity and balance to churn out a couple extra yards, because as you can tell, sometimes that's enough to get a first down and continue a drive. And that drive alone, in the future, that one play that he makes, that one extra yard, is the difference between maybe converting a 4th down or maybe it resulting in a touchdown. This guy's special, and you saw it in the very first play here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first play that I saw from Kadarius Toney that made me say, wow, right? This was the one that just kind of popped off immediately, and you just see the way that he sees the field, right? I love his vision on this play. You could just see how while he's moving upfield, he already knows that this guy's coming from over here, this guy's coming from over here. He fights for that extra yardage at the end, which you love to see, all that heart and grit, being determined to go get that first down. But again, main thing here, yes, takeaway, you could say, is the missed tackles, right? He's making everybody miss, but it's his vision for me. He just looks like he has eyes in the back of his head, which I think we're going to see on a later clip as well. He just has such an incredible vision. He always knows where the defenders are, where he is, and where he needs to go. So I love his football IQ, and that is something that's super important for a young wide receiver in the NFL to have that good of football IQ. Very, very elite trait and very exciting thing for Kadarius Toney.
Absolutely. And look at Kyle Rudolph, man. I mean, Kadarius Toney's making so many moves. Just look at Kyle Rudolph. He's in the middle of the field. He's kind of probably the 25-yard line nearest to us. And like, just look at that. Look what he does to Kyle Rudolph. I mean, he even jukes him out of his socks. He's literally ends up running in a circle. He turns around. He's like, where the hell is this guy? And then Kadarius Toney goes flying by him. And he's like, what the? I can't even block that. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? So he's making old man Kyle look like he looked like he's had some dusties in his shoes, but really, really awesome play from Kadarius Toney right off the bat here. And let's take a look at the next one. A nice deep crosser. I love these crossers, man. When the offensive line plays well, and it's a very rare situation that they do play well, this is what I love to see. Offensive line giving Daniel Jones. So, look at that pocket. Look at that pocket, man. You could make a cupcake in it. Like, it's just beautiful. And bam, Kadarius Toney across the field on a crosser. Nobody can keep catch up to him. He actually has pretty deceiving speed too. His burst, when he wants to turn it on, you'll see it later on against Dallas. That burst is there. Like, he has some good speed to him, and he has pretty solid hands, and really impressed with that, man. Just like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that just kind of reminds you, gives you little shades of Odell Beckham Jr., right? Just kind of run a quick route, catch it, and go. And I love these crossers. That's one that we saw Pat Shermer run a lot when he was the head coach of the Giants. We would see Odell Beckham run a lot of deep crossers just like this with Sterling Shepard. They would kind of cross over each other, which is pretty much what the Giants are doing right here. So I like this play design as well. I'll give a little bit of credit to, our number one public enemy, but Kadarius Toney here, love the crossers. Think those are a really good way to get him involved, and he's a good receiver, man. This is a good throw as well by Daniel Jones. Got to give credit to him as well. He's been having a pretty good season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And now we have guys I don't even know how to pronounce their names. Some of them on the offensive line. It's a pretty unfortunate situation, especially because Sterling Shepard was limited in practice today, and John Ross practiced, I believe, and Evan Ingram has another calf issue. So there goes the neighborhood once again. And let's take a look at the next clip here. Kadarius Toney, nice little RPO there. Bam, off to the races. See ya. Oh, look at that. Look at the center of gravity. I mean, look, an extra 5 yards. Bam, he's still going. It's special, guys. What you're watching is don't take it for granted. You know what I mean? Because what you're seeing on this right now is special, is a athleticism that we may have never seen on this team. Like, Saquon is unique in his own way. OBJ unique in his own way. But that type of stop and go ability is that's generational stop and go ability. I'm not saying it's a generational talent. I'm saying that specific trait that he has, that stop and go mobility and that just change of direction, that's generational. That is like, you are born with that skill. You know what I mean? You can't learn that. My weak knees would snap in half at the attempt, like breadsticks. So let's take a look at some more Kadarius Toney here. Gets him into space. Oh, I mean, pick up some extra yards. Nice little play. Little screen pass. See what he does here. I mean, Demario Davis saw Casper. Literally,
and Demario Davis is an excellent player. And he's doing this to a very good linebacker. It's not like he's doing it to some corner or some safety who you don't expect to make this tackle. You expect Demario Davis to make this tackle. And he's just like, skirt. That's Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, I mean, Demario Davis, he's like, where did this guy just go? He just teleported past me. Pretty incredible. I mean, look at this. Demario Davis has him lined up. He's squared off, has him lined up. There's nowhere to go. He's got this covered. If he goes left, he's got him. If he goes right, he's got him. Toney, look at that stop right there. Look at that plant that he puts. Davis commits. Kadarius Toney plants that right hand. Good blocking here around him, so he's not worried about someone getting on the edge. Plants that foot, and he's gone. I mean, Demario Davis, like, he doesn't even touch him. He's a good yard and a half away from him, and he had him squared up like a T-bone steak, man. He had the knife out. It was medium rare. He's about to bite in, and Kadarius Toney is like, psych, I'm still alive, and he's making moves. So pretty impressive there. I mean, again, you can't teach this kind of stuff. It's just incredible mobility. Let's see what else we got. Oh, and I love this play the most. It's one of my favorite plays of the season so far because he points out to Daniel Jones pre-snap that Malcolm Jenkins cannot cover him. He's out of position. He's going to put him on the outside. He's going to win that outside release. He's going to cut inside. Too much agility, too much speed, and he wins this route with just ease and perfection. I mean, look at this. He has him without his hips haven't even shifted yet. He's already in the break of his route, and bam, he gets this. He has 3 yards of separation. Kadarius Toney is top 5 in separation right now. Keep that in mind. He is top 5 in separation yards. The second place guy, I think, is Sterling Shepard, and he's maybe 3 yards behind him, and that's just the average. Like, we're talking about a player, like, people have complained. Separation, our receivers can't get separation. This is a big, narrative that's been going on the past couple of years ever since OBJ left. He's the separation guy. He is able to create space between himself and a defender. Very unique, especially when it's that much space. I mean, look at this right here. That's 2.5 yards. You don't see that in the NFL, man, especially for a rookie. You don't see that.
Yeah, man. You love to see the route running, the explosion out of the route, out of the break. Really, really nice stuff. And this is a play right here where this next play, where he goes to make the pass but doesn't. And this is one of the plays that Joe Judge mentioned gave him a lot of trust, because this is something that you could easily see a wide receiver here get a little excited. Oh, I have an opportunity to throw a touchdown pass. Let me just bomb this thing up to double coverage and hope to see something happen. It's very easy for a young rookie wide receiver to think that way, but he didn't. He put the team first. He said, I'm not putting my stats first and bombing this thing into double coverage. I'm going to take this, tuck it, and run with it, because that's what a quarterback would have to do in this situation with no one open downfield. Very smart, and once again, high football IQ play by Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, and I think that I'm not sure. I can't tell if there's a second read here, but in the future, it's not a bad idea to run this play again, have Toney look deep first. And I mean, he can always take off running. I trust him in that regard. But if you look to the left here, if Saquon Barkley gets behind this blocker and you get a little screen pass out, there's nothing but green. He has one guy to make miss. So maybe in the future they can try to replicate this play, and there's just a second read there. It's a dump off. I know it's a lot to ask from a receiver, but Kadarius Toney is a previous quarterback, so I trust him in that regard as well. But I like that. Like you said, Joe Judge said, the trust is there. He trusts him because he saw the field and he actually read the coverage. That's more than some quarterbacks can do in the league, and that's really impressive from a guy who hasn't played quarterback since like high school. And really nice here. Picks up a couple yards, get some positivity out of it. And this is probably my favorite route that he's run since being in the NFL. He makes Trayvon Diggs look like Eli Apple in his worst moment. I mean, look at this. Just look. Like, I can't even start to begin to tell you how special it is to be able to open up your hips, full spin, and then gun the other way. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is on his hip right here. This is great coverage by Trayvon Diggs, right? He's right there. Trayvon Diggs has the makeup speed. He's right there. This is good coverage. He's ready to go. The way that Toney stops and opens his hips and goes back the other direction is one of the most unique and special route running skills I've seen from a receiver. Trayvon Diggs is 3 yards away from him now. This is 5 yards away from him now. And to add on top of it, look at the breakaway speed. And Trayvon Diggs is fast, man. Trayvon Diggs has the angle here. Look at the breakaway speed. It's special. It's unique. You don't see this very often. This guy is going to be a superstar. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be, barring injury, he's going to be a superstar. Look at this. Bam, gone. And look what he does. Just by the way, I want to add this in because it's all kind of coming together right now on the film. He's so shifty that he makes defenders second guess what they're going to do, right? Watch Trayvon Diggs right here. So Kadarius Toney stops. Trayvon Diggs hesitates because he's not sure if he's going to break inside or not. He gives him that little hesitation. Most of the time, Trayvon Diggs is going full speed and running him out of bounds or hitting him out of bounds. He hesitates for a second and bam, Kadarius Toney takes off and he keeps going. That's just like you're making guys hesitate because they don't know what you're going to do. Are you going to go right? Are you going to go left? He's so quick, so shifty. I mean, defenders look at him and say, how do I defend him? This is the mantra I'm trying to get across. You can't really game plan around stopping him. You really just have to get lucky and pick the right way.
Yeah, and I really like that you pointed that out there at the end, because I never noticed that while watching this play, how Trayvon Diggs kind of just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where Kadarius Toney's going to go. Kadarius Toney is always looking to make a move, make a man miss. And of course, speaking to this route, this is a beautiful route that we're watching here. He creates loads of separation. Kadarius Toney is a really good route runner. And this was a thing, man, like pre-draft, everybody was saying, oh, Kadarius Toney, or maybe even post-draft as soon as the Giants drafted him. He's not a good route runner. He's kind of, you just throw him screens. He's a gadget player. I've been saying the whole time he's a very underrated route runner. There were some routes that he ran at the Senior Bowl that were absolutely disgusting. He was creating loads of separation at the Senior Bowl. He's clearly worked on his game, worked on his craft, and made himself a much better and more improved player than he was in college. And even in college, I thought he was a pretty underrated route runner and had some pretty nice routes back with UF. So again, I really like Kadarius Toney's route running, and I think that that's honestly what's separating him from the rest of the Giants receivers right now, because he is the best separator on this team.
You know, one of the biggest knocks on him as a draft prospect was that he was still raw as a route runner, which is kind of funny. Looking at him now, that kind of natural athleticism and route running actually is giving him an edge at the NFL level. You know what I mean? Like, it's so like kind of quirky with the way he turns and opens up his hips and stops and go. Like most draft evaluators would probably look at that and say, that's not traditional route running. You know what I mean? That's like, he's just using his athleticism. It's not smooth. But I think that actually plays into why he's going to be so good, is that he's unpredictable. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of receivers are rather predictable in their ways at some point, or you can kind of start to realize that you can start to see it on film. Like, what is he going to do? Like, he's going to do stop and go. He's going to do a slant. Like, you can kind of tell after a while if you watch enough film. Kadarius Toney is different every time. Like, you can't really figure out what he's going to do. Is it going to be a straight up slant? Is he going to twist his hips and open them wide open and go? Like, you just don't know what he's going to do. It's impossible to really watch on film and say, I know what he's going to do. I know where he's going, because you don't. It's impossible. That's the kind of quirkiness he gives you as this kind of raw athletic route runner that is unique. And I think the Giants have done actually a pretty solid job now that they've got him more involved. They've done a good job allowing him to use that as a strength, right? Some teams might try and cover that up. We want you to be a smooth route running receiver. They're like, you know what? Let's use that to his advantage. He's actually unique and special in a way that, you know, you can't really teach. Let's make him use that. And then NFL defenders are going to be like, wait, I don't really know what he's doing here. I can't really tell what he's going to do. And I think that's a special thing that I've noticed from him, is that they're allowing him to play his game and they're not forcing a mold on Kadarius Toney that could hold him back. So that's something I'll give credit to the Giants for doing.
Absolutely. They're actually doing a pretty good job coaching Kadarius Toney open and getting him involved with the plays. Of course, now he is injured, but we'll see soon, because this is a great example of that. This play that we're watching right now with Kadarius Toney and the Wildcat, you know, playing that quarterback Wildcat position, faking the handoff and going upfield, almost gets in for a touchdown, was super, super close. But that's really great creativity, and that's something that I really like seeing the Giants do here, because this is something that, you know, we don't see the Giants get this creative this often. This is a very rare thing, but with Kadarius Toney, they've done a good job getting creative with him and putting him in a position to succeed and make plays. So I really like this play too, and hopefully once Kadarius Toney's healthy again and able to fully rejoin the offense, I hope we see more plays like this, more plays where he lines up at quarterback, because we know he can sling it. We know he can throw it deep. We also know that he's smart and he can actually read the defense like this and do a read option and actually make some plays with the ball in his hands as a running quarterback. So I really love this play, and I hope that we get to see more Wildcat Toney in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love, you know, the fact that most teams, this is a touchdown, right? Most teams he's scoring, but credit to Micah Parsons here for being an absolute freaking horse and chasing him down across the line of scrimmage and avoiding Matt Pert at right tackle. Like, Parsons makes a touchdown saving play here, ended up being a Devontae Booker 3-yard run anyway. But I will say this, Kadarius Toney was very close to scoring on 2 different occasions in this game. I think the next one's on the next clip, but Micah Parsons, look at him chase him down. I mean, this is a touchdown. Like, look at that little avenue. If Parsons does not grab him right here, this is a touchdown. And he just gets him, man. Parsons is an elite defender too. He's going to be a phenomenal player for a very long time, and we pointed that out. Obviously, many people did during the draft evaluations. He's he was probably one of the more can't miss prospects, and he can do a lot of different things. And he showed off some of that speed there. But Kadarius Toney, equal to him on offense, I believe. Like, just his utilities are just incredible. Let's take a look at here. Oh, I think this is actually my favorite play. This is my favorite play because Kadarius Toney embarrasses 3 players here. Whoop! Yeah, this is the one where he almost gets a touchdown. That just saving tackle right there at the end. I mean, you can't get better than this when it comes to stop and go. I mean, look at this. 3 defenders are on his back. I don't know many receivers that can do that. Honestly, I can't name another receiver that can stop and go and get out of this like he does.
Yeah, this is rare. And honestly, it's like he has eyes in the back of his head on this play. Like, seriously. He just kind of, I don't know how he knew that there was no one in that little area that he jumped back to, but before the ball even got there, he knew what he was doing with it. He knew he was catching it, and he was jumping back and going upfield. His vision is just so impressive with the ball in his hands. It's insane, and it's really going to be something that turns into many, many huge plays, huge run after the catch opportunities, and hopefully a lot of long touchdowns where he runs it in from afar from Kadarius Toney, because that vision and that tackle breaking ability, that stop and go ability, that is rare, man. And he looks like he could have a very promising and elite career based on these traits.
Yeah, I would agree. And you know what? This is a player that we're going to be watching for a long time, and he's one of the positive silver linings that we can extract from this season that seems to be all but lost. But guys, thank you for tuning into Fireside Giants, hanging out with us, and enjoying some Kadarius Toney film and just reacting and taking a look, because he is a truly special talent, and I hope you guys also see that. I know you do. So really excited to see what he can accomplish in the future, what the Giants can do to maximize that potential. Probably will be without Jason Garrett next year, which is probably a benefit. They can really design some plays during the offseason for him and get him really, really healthy, because I know that ankle has been bothering him for quite a while now. I think a couple of weeks at least, maybe during the preseason as well. So really excited to see him kind of blossoming and really proving a lot of people wrong that, called him a red flag coming out of the draft, and, him missing a couple practices here and there. People were really down on him, but we stayed strong. We said, let's see what he does. Let's not jump to any conclusions. We learned from DeAndre Baker what happens when you jump to conclusions. So guys, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Make sure to subscribe below Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. As always, my friends, we'll catch you guys on the next New York Giants video.